Hello everyone, it's me, Miles J. And today I'm going to be styling this wig from Hot Star Hair. So come with me on the journey. Let's go, girl.
We've conceived, we've believed, we've achieved, we've revealed. We review, weave.
So I paid for this wig with my own money.
Hello, let's celebrate that.
Yes, that's right. I bought it. This is not a sponsored review, so I will be completely honest. Not like that ever stopped me before. I will say that TikTok surprisingly has a good amount of wigs on there. I've bought at least 3 or 4 wigs from there, and I want to say they're all pretty nicely priced compared to what I used to be reviewing. Some of these wigs would be like upwards $400. Crazy prices. These ones are definitely on the inexpensive end, and plus the shipping tends to be a lot quicker. If you were buying from one of those websites that I used to review a long time ago, back in 2010s, I remember I started out with RPG Show Hair, which all of these places are based in China for the most part. Okay, some of them are based here in LA now. It would take you at least a month. It would take so long for a wig to get to me, so long. And now that amount of time has shrunk to a week. I haven't had to wait 2 weeks yet for any of these wigs, specifically this one, to get to me. So it has been really lovely. I love the difference. This is a 13 by 6 inch wig, which means it's 13 inches across and then 6 inches deep. There's like a little bowl right here, a little U of lace, so I can part it, you know, from the side if I want to, but the lace gets significantly shorter on the sides. The hair length is 20 inches. You can't see the whole length right now because I have it tied up. And the total price with the discount, which was only $3 by the way.
I'm gagging.
And the shipping, which was free. We love that. And taxes, which was $9, is $102.14. Honestly, for a 20-inch wig, that's cunt. Let me pull it down for y'all. Now, it doesn't have that much length, I will be honest, and it doesn't have that much density, but it does the job. It looks good for what it is. So let's just jump right in and show you how I got this look. So here is the wig in all of its dry, dusty glory. As you can see, the inside of the cap has the standard amount of combs. It is a 13 by 6 inch wig, 20 inches. Before we do anything, I'm going to prep this hair by shampooing and conditioning it with a special toner, conditioner, and shampoo combo. I'm just gonna go ahead and add both and create a special little mixed elixir to get all of the yellow tones out of this blonde hair. I'm whisking my shampoo shiner to get myself some white hair. Once the concoction is nicely mixed, I'm just going to baptize this wig in and out, washing off whatever is on top of this wig. And then I'm going to let it sit for a good long while until the water cools. Once finished, I rinse and then set back on top of the wig head in front of a fan to dry. This avoids further heat damage and also is really easy on my arms. As expected, the tone came out pretty uneven, but I got out most of the yellow, so I was pretty satisfied. And this is what it looks like, completely dry. Now, let's move on to how I dyed this wig. I'm going to start by sectioning the bottom layer of the hair. Once I have everything sectioned off and squared away, I'm going to grab my hair dyes. For the chocolate section, I'm going to be using this medium golden brown dye, which I wouldn't recommend using because it's not chocolatey. For the pink, I'm going to use a combination of Arctic Fox Electric Paradise, Iro Iro Neon Pink, Iro Iro Red, and a 20 volume developer for the brown. Off camera, I created my own custom color using the Arctic Fox Electric Pink, the Iro Iro Red and Neon Pink, as well as a bunch of conditioner to create a nice pastel pink. Unfortunately, I still got that nasty orange undertone.
Now I'm just taking the hair in sections and creating a vertical pattern with all the colors I made, skipping chunks to leave a nice white strip for the vanilla. The foil was only necessary for the brown, but I decided to use it for the pink and the brown just to keep things looking cleaner. And this is what the bottom row looks like once I was finished. Can you see the pattern? Now it's time to move on to our next section, and I will be switching up the pattern again. Switching the patterns up allows for more dimensions in the hair, so if I decide to pull it up or style it differently, it'll give it a little bit more of a layered feel. Now it's time for our last layer, the top. I switched up the color pattern again, creating something extra delicious. Once I was finished dyeing all the pieces of hair, I let it sit, mostly because the conditioner would make it take extra long for the pink to actually seep through. I wasn't worried about the brown though. The brown turned brown instantly. So I let it sit for a good hour or so, and then I came back and took the foil off to see my work. Off camera, I did add some extra toner to the front of the bangs to make them extra white. It did leave kind of a pinkish purple hue, but once the hair dried, it looked amazing. Stay tuned. Now it's time to give this beauty a wash. I was initially quite frightened that the brown would rub off on the pink, causing a stain. Luckily for me though, it did not, and it came out quite nicely, if I do say so myself. Once I'm content with the shampoo, I'm just going to go ahead and fill the sink with conditioner and plop that girl right up in there for a good old soak. And just for good measure, I'm going to add this After Color Sealer to seal the colors, of course. This is my first time using this product, and it kind of feels like a gimmick product to me, not gonna lie. But, you know, why not? Better safe than sorry. Once the conditioning process is over, I'm gonna go ahead and rinse out all of that conditioner. And once again, placing it back on the wig head in front of the fan to dry. And doesn't she look so majestic? Hair cascading in the wind. I think this has gone on baking for long enough. It's time to place the crown on top of my dome. Let's see how she looks. But before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the lace with a color that's close to my scalp, or what I thought was close to my scalp, and hit the hairline with a bit of my foundation. This is how it looked after a tone and before the hair dye. And voila, this is how it looks on me now. I'm gonna be real with y'all though. I knew as soon as I saw that brown, I was gonna have to re-dye it. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this dark warm brown from Ion Color Brilliance. This is the perfect chocolatey brown. The red undertone really makes the brown super rich. So I had to resection the hair and pull out the brown sections away from the other sections, which was an interesting challenge in and of itself, but I managed to get it done. And I ran out of my 20 volume developer, so I'm using a 30 volume developer here. 30 volume developer just means it processes a little bit faster. As I work it into the hair, you can literally see it changing color right in front of me, which is actually pretty cool to watch in real time. I'm like so curious on how this works. Like, how do you create a white paste and then add a developer and then a chemical reaction happens to where it changes the color? Like, that is so fascinating to me. Kudos to whoever invented hair dye and to the people who probably died trying to figure it out. So yeah, props to y'all. Speaking of kudos, do y'all remember those snack bars? Do they still have kudos nowadays? I haven't seen one of them since like shit. early 2000s. Okay, I just read that they discontinued them because they marketed themselves as a healthy snack, and that shit had M&Ms in it, and the changing health restrictions were like, bitch, this is not fucking healthy. It's like those goddamn Got Milk commercials all over again, girl. Anyways, I let that process for a few minutes. I didn't need to wait long, and this is what it looks like after a wash. And as you can see, the pink did fade quite a bit. I think I still had some conditioner left in there, which actually I'm not mad about because honestly, I kind of want to re-dye the pink too, but this is fine for now. And this is the finished product. I just cut some butterfly layers to frame the face, and voila, Neapolitan ice cream hair. Enjoy.
Voila! I now have beautiful Neapolitan chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry hair. It smells delicious. If y'all want to know more about this wig, the actual quality of it is like, I don't know if I see this one lasting that long. It does look healthy right now, so I will give it that, but it came to me pretty frizzy. So it is blonde, but you know, if it comes frizzy to you, blonde already, just know it's probably not gonna last you a long time, especially if you plan on wearing it like 2 weeks at a time without taking it off. You know, it's gonna get matted. As always, the most important thing I'm worried about is like quality, and then size, and then like cleanliness. These are things that are really hard to actually get a good grasp of. So it really was Wild Wild West back then. It was a gamble, and then plus you might not be able to return it or get your refund. So it was very spooky. With TikTok, I feel like there was a little bit more of a little bit, like a teensy bit more comfort. You can return and file for a return on your investment on here. Don't know how, you know, clean that may or may not be. Like, for the most part, I feel like people do not or are not supposed to return wigs because it's hair, it's human hair. That's probably how you get hair mites. What are those fucking called? Yeah, so anyway, my biggest complaint is that in the back, it is really sparse. So you can see the tracks like right at the top of the head. Especially when I part it down the middle and like, you know, want to free my neck from the heat. You can see tracks all down the back. That's just gonna have to be the person behind me's problem, not mine. I'm so sorry to whoever behind me, but yeah, it's a wig. Sorry to tell you. I ordered this on May 8th and it got here on May 14th. So that's 6 days. That's a week, babe. Less than a week. This also came with a free gift, which is a silky lace cap, which didn't care for it. It was also white, so in the trash. A wig cap, like 2 wig caps, which were also in the color Caucasian, in the trash. Satin bag for the wig, eyelashes, and a bag for you to put your hair in. Honestly, I only kept the eyelashes and the bag. And now, without further ado, here's a little hairography for you. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to know the details of this wig, I think I should be able to link it down below. If I can't, then, you know, I'll just put the description of the hair details and whatnot and so forth. So yes, and all the ingredients of like what I use to dye the hair if you can't, you know, remember, don't want to go back and watch it. Anyway, thank you guys all so much for watching. It's been totally like me, Miles J, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Bye! I'm kind of debating going out tonight, like, I'm going home. It's time to go home and watch one of my shows. Thank you.